Hey everyone, welcome back to City Skylines with Nathaniel. This is part 5 of building Nathaniel's Bay, and we're doing a little expansion on the park here, and we're going to do that just by pulling it all the way to the street. So essentially just getting rid of all the buildings and expanding the park right out to our main street area. So I just really love it when you can really just see the park carrying straight to the street with no buildings in the way, and it can just be well framed with trees and the fences. We're gonna place down a lot of new pathing, but now that we've expanded, we kind of have to redo a lot of the pathing just in general, so it all flows and the curves look good, and move some things around, so we can have like efficient pathing so that it makes it convenient for a citizen to enter the park at that area and get through. Whatever's going to make it easier for our pedestrians. Now I love to see some nice big trees, some small trees, some shrubs, little details, picnic benches and trash cans, and just all the little things that make a park realistic. We don't want to really be missing these details, so I'm gonna add as many of these tiny details as I can. That's really gonna just make our park look alive and flourishing and be a really fun and nice place for our citizens to come and take in some fresh air. It's really nice that like beside these fences we put in some of these shrubs just to kind of separate and delineate the park area from the bustling metropolitan city area. It's not really much of a metropolitan with a population of 18,000, but it certainly is looking pretty beautiful when there's this massive park in there, and you can just see some of the noise pollution too. So the more dense we can get that foliage, the more we're gonna reduce that noise pollution for the people inside the park, and even just for the surrounding city area. It just absorbs some of that car and traffic noise, and it's just so beautiful, especially now that we're right up against the street. We really have a better view of the park from the street, and that is really beautiful for our pedestrians. And our city bus comes up right beside that park entrance, and it other than just green, I love some color with some of these other diverse tree species, small ones, big ones. Give this some Central Park vibes, but more of it's got conifers, so it's not totally tropical, but or even northern, but it has a diverse mix of botanical goodness, of a diverse mix of forestry. Now, aside from the little details and the big trees and the foliage, what about some other big chunks of rock around here? We can diversify the landscape a little bit. It's definitely beautiful to be able to add to the landscape as much as we can. And some things it's really nice to kind of have this big flat area of land with a nice park in it, but naturally what we find in the real world isn't always just this perfectly flat grassy area. So what we can also do is just add a little bit of terrain elevation so that we have high points and low points, and it really just starts to look a lot different now. When now what's so amazing about this great central park in this city is that it attracts quite a bit of interest now, and we can go ahead and reduce our taxation rate to 5%. Because it's generating a little bit of income and the park is paying for itself. And so that's really awesome when everything is just paying for itself. Each ecosystem is self-contained and self-sustaining, and you only pay for the things and the services in the city that you actually use. Why should we have to make the citizens who are not going and enjoying the park make them pay for it? So we can increase the ticket prices now too, since we're not greedy, but we just want the park to pay for itself. And we got a nice increase, and we can even lower our taxes to 4%. It's just absolutely incredible. A 4% tax rate is pretty amazing. Oh look, wonderful, a hearse! Well, someone picked a fine place to die. Out of all the places in Nathaniel's Bay, Nathaniel's Bay Park. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time on City Skylines with Nathaniel when we look at Building Nathaniel's Bay, Part 6.